Confessions of a Maverick. What's up? Happy Monday to you. It's Deborah, and want to share with you some things that were running through my head this morning about being a Maverick and being a disruptor. So, always trying to bring clarity to this because in our world we have these words kind of thrown around, and they mean different things to different people. But I want to share with you what it means to me. There's basically four different types of disruptors that I focus my attention on. So the first is an outcast. And that might not seem like much of a disruptor, but that's like in the early stages when I'll say for myself, when I was feeling like I wasn't accepted anywhere, that everywhere I was rejected, and I couldn't understand why, couldn't fit in. That early stage where we're kind of discovering that there's something different about the way that we see things from the way that the people around us see things. And so usually that's earlier stages of life as well, childhood, but it can extend into adulthood. It just depends on when our awareness is raised, right? So that's the first stage. The second stage is a rebel, and the rebel is the activist. The rebel is the vocal person who, stands up and says this is wrong and this needs to change. And they're the ones who are lobbying or protesting or maybe even hacking, whatever version of activism they do. They're really trying to create change by disrupting the current status quo when it comes to how things are being led, how institutions are running things, who's in power and how they're using their power, that kind of thing. The third stage is the Maverick, and that's where I am, where it's the person is really past the point of wanting to fight the things that are wrong or correct the things that are wrong, and is really more focused on creating the things that are right that they believe they're here to create. So it takes a level of personal ownership, a level of personal clarity and passion to be able to speak up as a Maverick and to focus your attention on your mission and not so much on righting the wrongs in the world, but really just focusing on creating what you want to see in the world. So that's the role of the Maverick. And then the fourth and final stage is that of the global villager. And the global villager is the hero. They're the ones who are they've done it. They've fulfilled some major part of their mission, and now their focus is on helping others to fulfill their missions and helping others to up level and to grow and to expand. And that's their role. That's their primary role, is to show up in that way. So all four stages are incredibly important. They all are interwoven into the fabric of our society, and there's no one stage that's better than the other. However, there is a progression that we go through in our maturity, in our clarity, where we will progress from one to the next throughout our lives. But just the same as, babies are no less amazing than adults, it's the same thing. It's like there's really nothing bad about any of these stages. They're just stages of development and growth. And I really wanted to speak to this today because, we just had Halloween here in the United States, and there's lots of horror movies out, and there's lots of, kind of creepy crawlies all around, and it's a celebration. But I've always had a great dislike of Halloween, but I always felt bad to say that. I felt like I had to say that, people wish you happy Halloween. And I always felt kind of awkward with it. But in the recent years, I've started to really own the fact that I don't really enjoy entertainment that focuses on things that I don't want in the world, just plain and simple. So whether it's violence, whether it's any kind of form of doing harm to others, I'm just not a fan. And I know that sounds really, really crazy and radical, but that's how I've always been. I never was okay with making it okay to focus on things that I just didn't want to see. I don't want to see anyone axed to death. I don't want to see anyone's blood sucked out of them. I don't want to see anyone, so why is this such a major focus of our culture? That is not my business, but me personally, I'm growing the courage to state how I really truly see things. And that is what makes me a disruptor. It is not that I'm like there trying to lobby for Halloween to be taken off as a holiday or for people to stop celebrating Halloween. That would be the role of a rebel. But the role of the maverick is just to kind of say, okay, I'm not about this. This is what I am about. I am about creating entertainment and ways of celebrating that focus on what I want to see more of in the world: more harmony, more joy, more passion, more fire, more connection. That's what I want to see more of in the world. And so that's what I want to focus my attention on. I hope that makes sense. So, for example, if I, as a maverick, wanted to take that a step further, maybe it would be for me to create my own holiday that focuses on things that are like everything surrounding the holiday, all entertainment and everything around it is really focused on things that are more of what I would love to see more of in the world. Um, Another way to look at it as a maverick is that I wouldn't give much attention to the fact that most people celebrate Halloween or most people celebrate whatever they celebrate, but I would focus my attention on what it is that I'm here to create. So that's the difference between a rebel and a maverick. I hope that makes it clear. And then the other part of a maverick, being a maverick, is that when you're focused on your mission, um, you naturally become a leader because you will just naturally magnetize people who are interested in your mission. And there's nothing that's more attractive than certainty. When you're really certain in the importance of your mission, when you're really certain in why you're doing it and that that's what your focus is on, it's amazing how people will just gravitate to you, and the support and the interest that you need will gravitate to you. It doesn't gravitate to you when you um, don't claim it, when you don't own it. So my mission on this planet is to um, be a champion for oneness, for interdependence, for the understanding that we are all connected, we are all one. So anything that I do to you, I'm doing to myself, good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, kind or unkind. If I'm doing it to you, I'm doing it to myself. Um, and when we understand that, when we really understand that, we break it down, it changes everything. It changes everything. It changes the way we see conflicts. It changes the way we see ourselves. It changes the way we see people that we think are our enemies or who we think have harmful intent. Um, it changes everything. It is such a powerful force for healing, and that's why I believe in it so much, and that's why I keep championing it. And that's my mission. That's what I'm focused on creating. I'm not so much worried about what else is out there that I don't necessarily agree with. I'm more focused on what I do believe in and what I'm here to share with the world. So I want to ask you, are you a maverick? If not, what kind of disruptor are you? Are you an outcast? Are you a rebel? Are you a global villager? No shame or judgment in any of those phases. Do you feel like you're something else? If so, please share. I know us disruptors, we don't like to ever be categorized, so we always want to defy that. So it's all good. Share with me what you think you are. But more importantly, what's your mission? What are you here to accomplish? What's the impact that you're here to bring? I would love to see that in the comments, because this is what it's all about, having the conversations that we don't typically have around the coffee machine or, out and about with our friends and family. We often don't talk about this, but this is so key to like what brings us true fulfillment and joy in life. Not everyone, but for a lot of us, it's being able to make a positive impact, to be able to see something that was just an idea in your head turn into reality in the 3D world and do some good, right? That's yeah, that for me and people who are attracted to this message is the juice right there, is to really feel like we are a part of creating something bigger than ourselves that's really going to serve people and humanity in a good way and the planet in a good way. So would love to read that in the comments, and enjoy the rest of your Monday. Much love. Bye.